So today's topic is about like subliminals. Like what are subliminals? Like do they even really work? Like what the hell is this? Okay, because you see, because what if I told you that your brain is like constantly listening, even when you think that you are not paying attention, because not every message enter your conscious mind. Some message sleep quietly beneath your awareness, like into places called your subconscious. That's where subliminals come in. Some people believe that subliminals can change your entire life overnight. Others think that they're nothing more than a scam. So who's right? Can listening to hidden affirmations actually make you more confident? Alright, can they help you to build better habits? Or is it all just a wishful thinking, So today we are separating science from myth, because understanding your subconscious might be one of the most powerful tools, for personal growth, By the way, my name is Aries and I'm your online BFF for today. And thank you so much for clicking to this video. Bless you. Alright. So, you see, what is... Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna sit like this. Sit like this. Gonna sit like this. Okay? Don't mind me. Alright. Okay. So, yeah. So, basically, what is the subconscious mind? Like, let's start with something simple. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. Above the water is your conscious mind. This is where you make decisions, right? Think logically, read the sentence, choose what to eat for lunch. But beneath the surface, hidden under the water, is your subconscious, okay? This is where your habits live, your automatic reactions, your emotional memories, the belief that you have repeated so often that they now feels like a fact for you. Like think about driving a car. When you first learn, you had to think about every movement, right? The mirrors, pedals, the steering wheel, everything requires conscious effort. Now you probably drive without thinking much at all. That's because the behavior has become automatic. Your subconscious exists to save energy by like turning repeated actions into a habit, and that's incredibly useful. So the problem is it also stores unhelpful habits and limiting belief. Like, so basically, what are subliminals? Okay, because I have seen tons of this thing in my feed page for some reason. Yes, and it is nothing to hide, because if you guys ever encounter it, let me know in the comments, because so this is just my findings, alright, just through my research and my findings. So I'm just gonna share with you guys. So I feel like okay, so what are subliminals? A subliminal message is like informations, presented below the threshold of a conscious awareness, because in the context of a YouTube or an audio tracks. So this usually means that positive affirmations play very, very quietly beneath the music, rain sounds, or a white noise. So you basically might not even consciously hear it. That there's some voice there that says that I am confident, I deserve love, I remain calm under pressure. But you see, the idea is that repeated exposure may basically like influence your subconscious over time. Now here's something important, because your brain is like already exposed to messages every single day: advertisements, social medias, news headlines, family beliefs, comments from teachers, friends, partners, this repeated message shape how you see yourself and the world, right? So subliminal creators are essentially trying to replace negative messages with intentional positive one. Alright, so yeah, this is just based on my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so you see, does even science support subliminals? Because this is where things get interesting, because research suggests that, like subliminal stimuli can like sometimes influence thoughts or behaviors in the subtle short-term ways under like specific conditions. But you see, the evidence does not even support the idea that subliminal audio can instantly change your appearance, okay, like make you rich overnight or completely transform your life without effort. No, it's not. So if you have seen videos claiming that, listen once and you wake up a millionaire, or grow 10 centimeters taller while you sleep, so there's no strong specific scientific evidence for those kinds of claims, okay? No, unfortunately there's none. So what does have a stronger support is something related: repetition. Yeah, so the brain changes through the repeated experiences. So if you consistently exposed to encouraging messages, right, and you pair them with action, you may gradually reinforce healthier beliefs and behavior. In other words, subliminals are not magic. They are not shortcuts. If they help at all, they're more likely to work as, one small part of a broader process of changing of how you think and act, okay? It's like, it's like how you always listen to a podcast, to those empowering podcast creators, that you always listen. So it works in the same way, because I have tried before, okay? That's how a brain works in a scientific way. So you see, because why do thousands of people say subliminals change their lives? Because there are several possible reasons, okay? I feel like first is expectations. If you genuinely expect something positive, you are more likely to notice opportunities, interpret experiences differently, and behave in ways that support that expectations. So second is the repetitions. Listening to encouraging messages every day keeps your goals at the front of your mind, right? And you won't stray away from your path, because every single day you keep rethinking your goal every single day. You won't stray, okay? It's called repetitions. So third is behavioral change. Someone listening to a confidence-focused audio may also begin speaking up more, making eye contact, or taking chances they previously avoided. So those actions, not the audio alone, can create real changes, right? So fourth, selective attentions. So when your brain focuses on a goal, you begin noticing things that related to it. For example, if you are basically thinking about buying a certain car, you suddenly see that car everywhere. The cars were always there. Your attention change. So the same can happen with personal goals. Wait, let me just pause this. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So yeah, I just recharged my phone, so kind of cut off my video. So next is how to use subliminals wisely. Because if you are basically enjoying listening to subliminals, right, here's how to use them in a healthy way instead of like you being addicted to it. So choose the creators that who promote realistic personal growth instead of impossible promises. Use them as a reminder of the person that you are becoming, not as a replacement for an action. Because you can't achieve anything if there is no effort, okay? You need to take the action. You know, all the subliminals things, the music, the audios and all that you have seen is only, you know, it's just a catalyst, you know, it's something that a reminder for you every single day to like not to be stray away from your goal, from your path. So that's it. You know, pair the positive affirmations with habits. If you're listening to confidence affirmations, also practice confident behavior. Alright? You don't shrink yourself and thinking that you are confident. No, that's not how it works. Alright? If you're listening to like abundance affirmations, also improve your financial skill, apply for opportunities or build your business. Okay, learn some skills, high value skills, you know. Think of subliminals like watering a seed, you know, like then, you know, the water matters. Okay, the water matters. But without sunlight, good soil, and time, nothing grows. Okay, nothing grows. So here's what I believe, you know, like, wait, let me just fix my hair. Okay, you know what, I just don't care my hair. Like whether or not you ever listen to subliminals and all, your mind is actually already absorbing messages. So the real question is, what messages are you feeding yourself every day? Every time that you say, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm always unlucky, you know, I'm lazy, I will never change, you are actually repeating a story inside your brain. And the story basically becomes a belief in you. Belief influences the choices, and the choices shapes your life. Okay, so perhaps I feel like the most powerful subliminals isn't hidden beneath relaxing music. No, okay, it's actually the quiet voice you hear every day inside your own mind. Okay, the one that reminds you who you believe you are and what you can achieve. If that voice has been very harsh, know this, okay? You can begin changing it. One thought, one habit, one choice at a time, because your subconscious isn't your enemy. It's like a, you know, like a fertile soil. So whatever that you plant consistently, it will eventually like begin to grow, flourish, you know. So plant wisely. All right. Yep. So I think that's all for today. Yeah. So the very first step to changing your subconscious is becoming aware of what it's been hearing all along, right? Yeah. And remember, your subconscious is always learning every single day. So the question is whether you are letting life teach it by accident or you are choosing what to teach it on purpose. So yeah, that's it from me. So thank you so much for watching until the end. Alright, truly appreciate it. Alright, bless your day, drink more water, and yeah, just do whatever that you love. Okay, that's it. Bye.